Yo. Saladin Salam for Corso, depressing, Neapolitan and Mastino, historical talk. Hopefully, y'all having a lovely day. Peace and prosperity, peace and prosperity, peace and prosperity, peace and prosperity. Hopefully, y'all having a lovely day, man. Yeah, just random topics, man. So, um, I'm gonna tell y'all what's on my mind. Uh, Using dogs for hog hunting, right? And I'm not saying that, a Corso can't do it. I'm not going to sit here and say that, other breeds can't do it. Sure, they can do it. Sure, they can do it. But you know what, though? Y'all got to stop, and start with you people that's evaluating what's going on in the video and what you seeing is proper. Y'all got to stop the shenanigans, man. Because again, you're going to get people hurt. You're going to get people hurt because people sometimes are slow. And what I mean by slow, it's like, yo, you just have a deficiency of what you're seeing, and you believe everything that you see that's on social media. You believe it, and you don't do no extensive research or nothing like that. You don't evaluate things properly, and you get fooled. So, in hog hunting, right? I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Even when a dog, a seasoned dog, there's going to be battle scars on that dog. There's going to be battle scars. There's going to be battle scars on the dog. How so? Because when the dog is biting the hog is biting the dog back. It's fighting. So he's pulling, the dog is pulling, you know, the dog angles in front of the pig. The pig, throw his head up. There's a cut. Usually, a seasoned dog will have it around his muzzle, around his facial, and around his chest area. Sometimes on his legs, but there's going to be scars. If your dog is supposedly hunting hogs and there's no scars on your dog, yo, you're editing videos. Your dogs ain't really hog hunting. And I'll say that again. Your dogs are not really hog hunting at all. Like it's I don't know what you're doing. It's make believe. It's fake. Your dogs are not hog hunting. And I knew some legends back when, and went on expeditions and hog hunts. Um, I did use Corsos back in the day. I don't have video footage to show everybody or to show anybody at that. So that'd be secondhand information. But my dogs were used in hog hunting. I bred band dogs. I bred American bulldogs once upon a time. And yeah, I was very interested in getting dogs that actually did the work properly. And let me say this too, not wearing a vest is a no go unless my dog is super seasoned. And if it's a super seasoned dog, there's going to be scars. There's going to be scars regardless. There's no exception of the rule to this. There's going to be scars. It's just like if a dog was in the box constantly. If he's in the box constantly, there's going to be scars. There's going to be scars. There are going to be scars. So you can't say that your dog is doing box activity and there's no scars on your animal. That's bull crap. And you cannot say your dogs are hunting hogs. You're not wearing the vest and your dogs doesn't have no scars. It's bull. It's bull crap. It's bull crap. And you should stop advertising that like your dogs are actually hunting. Because I knew a dude back when, and he showed his dogs. He took video footage, well, not video footage, camera footage of his dogs allegedly hunting hogs. But what actually happened, his dogs didn't hold on to the hogs. They didn't hold on, and the hogs' ears was emaciated. It was like real shredded up. That means that hog was used multiple times. That same hog. You can fool some of the people some of the times, but you can't fool everybody. And when you're hog hunting, your dog is conditioned. No matter what state you live in, your dog is conditioned to do the work with a vest on. And this is not nothing that I'm fabricating. I'm not lying. This is how it's done. So, like I said, if a dog doesn't have a vest on, it's a seasoned dog, but he has scars. And with these pictures that you're showing on the internet, these particular breeders, I don't see no scars on your dogs at all. That's how I know that's full of crap. That's full of crap. You can fool these other people. And my thing is like, yo, if you think I'm lying, that go for anybody out here. If you think I'm lying, do the work and show me a video. Show me a video your dog's doing that work. Show me a video. Show me a video. Show me non-edited. Don't add nothing. And show me your dog's doing the work. Y'all gotta stop, bro, because then you'll get people smashed up and hurt. You'll get animals hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not supposed to be on the aspect of your ego, and then you're doing activities that's going to hurt the animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, safety's first. Just like if you worked at a construction site, there's going to be safety first, safety precautions. Same thing with hunting hogs. It's safety precautions. Safety's first. For your safety, of you knowing what you're doing, and for your animal safety. Unless you got cur dogs, because cur dogs are considered, and they're not held in high regards, even though there are excellent cur dogs out there that actually can do the work as well and excel at doing the work, far as baying or tracking. But like I said, at the end of the day, you know that the Corso has a hound component in it, and it should be able to do the work, far as tracking too. The baying part, I wouldn't use my Corso to actually bait the hog. I want my Corso to engage and catch the hog. And then I gotta be there kind of quickly and promptly. So this way, that's not no ongoing fight. You know what I'm saying? Where they're going back and forth. I gotta help out my canine partner, and we gotta put down the hog. Like, it just is what it is. Because like I said, at the end of the day, man, hogs are not playing. It's not. Yo. It's not no amateur sport. Period. It's not that. So, like I said, these fake videos that you dudes is making, that's corny at the end of the day. I don't respect it. But hey, each his own though, bro. But if I ain't seeing no scars on that Corso, or that bulldog, or that pit bulldog, whatever dog you using, man, that's bull crap, man. Man, get the hell out of here with that, man. You put the hog in a pen, you catching sickly pen hogs. What I'm saying about pen is like you domesticated them, or halfway domesticated them. You starve them. Some people will do that so the hog is weak, and then you put green dogs in the pen with them so that the dogs will engage and not get challenged back to the extent that, what I'm saying, well, you'll break the dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, with a green dog, you can even break them. Man, well, yeah, that's kind of true. Most calls, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say that. But Argentine Dugos, on that topic, yeah, they can do the work, but who has work in Argentine Dugos for real, for real? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm going to say this, dog genetics are not the same as they was yesterday. And what I saw with some Argentine Dugos that allegedly did the work, that shit is bullshit too. It's bullshit. So, like, yo, at the end of the day with it, that's what I'm going to say with that. But my thing is, again, people should stop playing around like that because hog hunting is very dangerous. It's very dangerous. I want to do it again. I want to show that my dogs can actually do the work. But the thing is that I'm kind of, I'm no, I'm not kind of overweight. I'm overweight, and I got to get the hell out the way. Like, for real, for real. I got to be in shape, and I got to be, yo. All right, that's cool, Travis. You know what I'm saying? Nah, listen, bro. I'm saying what I'm saying. Watch the whole video, then you'll understand what I'm saying. You'll understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, certain breeds of dogs can't do the work. My thing is, again, safety first, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like I said, at the end of the day, you can't tell me that a dog is hunting hogs and he's not scarred. He or she is not scarred up. That's bull crap. I don't give a damn what breed of dog it is. It has to be scarred up. The hog is going to fight the dog back. That's number one. That's first and foremost. And if you're playing out there and that dog doesn't have a hit like the vest on, yo, I done seen dogs get their whole intestines ripped out of them. So, like, you can play if you want to. And my thing is like, yo, if I see no scars on the dogs, that's bull crap. Word up. That's bull crap. That's all I'm saying with it. That is bull crap. It don't work like that. And again, you get other people hurt like that. So now people will think that, even they buying dogs off of you, right? Because you saying that your dogs is working. Not saying y'all particularly, but these people know who I'm talking about. So you get these dogs, so they get puppies from you, and the dogs don't do nothing. The parents was duds in the first place, kind of, sort of. So I get these dogs and thinking that, yo, this dog is going to do the same thing his parents did that was on the video, and then the dog does nothing, or these puppies do nothing. So, like I said, at the end of the day, you'll wind up getting people hurt. You'll wind up getting people hurt. Genetics is very important when it comes to dog breeding. When it comes to working, genetics are very important. And see, this is separates the men from the boys on the aspect of dog breeding because, yo, any dude that's actually working the animals want to keep those genetics going, ongoing. So the dogs have to reproduce themselves. And if they're not reproducing themselves, they're getting called out of the program. And a lot of dudes, people, they're not doing that. Not doing that at all. Not doing that at all. They just out here selling puppies on the mass production with false advertisement. And I don't want people to get got like that because, like I said, at the end of the day, even with so-called protection training and etc., a lot of Corsos are not stable. And that's the truth of the matter. A lot of dogs, period, are not stable because of bad breeding tactics and breeding practices, bro. Like, for real. You don't test the dogs properly. The dogs aren't confident. They're very skittish. You put a fear biter on a confident dog. You breed that stuff together. You're going to have mixed genetics. Scatterbred dogs, etc. Some of you people are against line breeding and inbreeding, which this is how you make bloodlines in the first place. It's no getting around that. And then my thing is like, yo, with dog breeding, it takes time. You gotta have patience, and everything is not going to come overnight. Now, if you puppy milling, that's a whole different dynamics. Yeah, you can get paid by puppy milling by selling two suckers out there. But my thing is, this day and age, you're playing a dangerous game because, yo, either you're going to sell a dog to somebody that's gonna have a bad experience and they're gonna come back on some violent stuff, or you're gonna get a person that's gonna, that's gonna sue the hell out of you. It starts with you and it ends with you, bro. But my thing is like again, man, you y'all have to be careful, bro. You gotta be careful out here, man. And with hog hunting or anything like that, it's not a game. It's not a game. It's not a game. Good sport if you really want to work a working animal, you know what I'm saying? But you as the owner and your animals have to be on they P's and Q's. That stuff is not to be played with and taken lightly. So this is why I'm trying to slim down and get my ass in shape. So like I said, due to the fact that I'm much older now, I got to get the hell out the way if I have to. You know what I'm saying? Because like that hog hunting stuff ain't no joke. No joke. No joke. And it shouldn't be taken lightly. But the genetics of the dog and etc. too, that plays a part. And my thing is like, a lot of people are perpetrating frauds with their dogs, with their animals. And like I said, these animals don't either they don't reproduce themselves or them animals ain't like that in real life. And again, you get fooled if you never experienced it, you never really bred dogs to the caliber that certain breeders breed dogs to, like, you would not have an understanding of, even what I'm talking about now, you wouldn't have an understanding of it. Sometimes it takes trial and error. But hopefully you don't have to find out that way. Because again, when it comes to hunting, safety is first. Foremost is first. I'm not trying to get the dog hurt unnecessary, and I'm not trying to get myself hurt. No, I'm saying all bloodlines, brother. Like, all bloodlines, man. All bloodlines. You got certain dudes that's doing the right thing, and you got certain people that's not, bro. Like, like it's hard to say too, Rick, because a lot of pedigrees are smacked on. So I don't know if certain dogs are authentic or not, or either though. So with the Corso is concerned, I don't know. I have to really do my due diligence and research. That's why I only mess with the people that I mess with, bro. And then if dudes got per se, like say if an individual's a show breeder, I know that their dogs. Not saying that it might be one or two dogs that they have or they produce that can actually do the work or that's authentic, but if they not in the activity that I'm into, then why would I get a dog from that? And you got to know somebody to know somebody. That's why I say at the end of the day too, with dog breeding is concerned, it takes time because like you have to cipher all this stuff out. And sometimes it takes years to get the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, with that being said, bro, with that being said, man, with that being said, you really have to do your due diligence with any breed that you messing around here with. Period. Period. Sometimes you go through a lot of dogs. Some dogs are not the right fit for your situation, your living conditions, or your situation, or what you're trying to do with the dog. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. But back on topic with the fake hog hunting stuff, like them people need to stop that. That's perpetrating a fraud. And my thing is like, bro, like, nah. And this is how people get got. Even with the dog training stuff. You see the dog playing tug of war and you automatically feel that this dog has what it takes until the dogs, like I said, be in real life situations. And then, because like I said, on the field and all that stuff, when they doing, what they doing, the dog understands and have a healthy understanding that it's not going to get hurt. But like I said, in a home invasion situation, that burglar or whatever that's coming in your house is not going to be playing with your dog, bro. They're not going to be playing with your animal. They're going to be playing for keeps. So your dog better be playing for keeps too. Just saying, genetically. And with a lot of these dogs, they're supposed to already have it in them genetically, which they don't a lot of times because a lot of breeders are breeding away from that situation. Forever what reasons? And this is why, like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of these dog breeds end up in the dog pound by the droves. Not one or two, by the droves. Bad breeding practices, bro, which the legislator is about to slam down on everybody. Like for real, for real. That's about to come down the pipe. So you dudes don't take heed, you take heed. Yeah, it is what it is. Yep. I agree, Rick. I agree. That's true. That's a fact. That's a fact. That did happen. That did occur. That did happen. That's why some Corsos look like South African Balls and have ballful traits. I seen it. Called out a few breeders about that, but yo, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, gotta be careful out here, bro. But the funny part is the DNA is not catching that, which is odd to me too, though. Like, so like I said, just to talk about the DNA briefly, co-sufficiency, you can't lie about that. So like if a dog has a low co-sufficiency, I know that that so-called bloodline attached to the name of that of the animal. I'm talking about pedigrees now. If it's not a high co-sufficiency, it's bullshit. Them papers is probably smacked on the dog, bro. There's a lot of paper smacking. You know what I'm saying? People are clamping down on certain aspects of it, which is great. They should. And, you know, that's that. But it's kind of ironic, like I said at the end of the day, though, bro. Again, traits don't lie to a certain extent. It depends on if the two animals have a common ancestor. Then that can be tricky. But like I said, if you research and study, you can kind of navigate through this kind of properly. But back this, like I said, to square one with the fake hog hunting. A lot of people shouldn't do that, man. It's false advertisement. You get people hurt, just like with the phony dog scenarios and stuff like that. Yo, if the dog is not being properly tested temperament wise, man, it shouldn't be bred. Because first and foremost, with any dog, any working dog, a healthy respect for his master is a must. So, on the aspect of obedience, being able to take directions from his owner is a must. Is a must. If a dog can't do that, it shouldn't be bred. Period. Shouldn't be bred. Shouldn't be playing with it. If it doesn't have a respect for you as its owner and as the alpha, it shouldn't be bred. It shouldn't be bred and you shouldn't be playing with it. You shouldn't be playing with it. And that's the truth of the matter. Sometimes, in dog breeding and even in owning dogs, we gotta swallow hard pills sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it doesn't pan out. But the thing is to be responsible. And I understand that, like a lot of dog men in my time, before my time, instructed me and told me this. They said, "Yo, man, we see that you love this stuff, but yo, understand something. You're not gonna make a lot of money from it." And I was like, "What you mean?" They was like, "Nah, you still gonna have to put in work. It's gonna be sacrifices that you're gonna make." And they was like, "Yo, you don't make a lot of money from this, man. Doing it properly, you're not gonna make a lot of money. But overall, if you have a love for that breed, you're gonna do whatever it takes, and your dogs will speak for himself." You know what I'm saying? and then you'll get respected by your peers. Don't breed to the public or for the public. You breed for you. And that actually was the facts in the matter. That's actually the facts. That's the facts. So whatever's popular, I'm not into that. What I'm into is a confident dog, a dog that is obedient, a dog that is stable, but a dog that is, like I said, the key aspect of that was confident. And then also too healthy, because I don't want a lot of these health issues that run into certain breeds and stuff like that, and I don't want to run into a brick wall. You know what I'm saying? So healthy specimens and stable, very important. Hunting, personal protection, even dog sports, all of that. Key factors: confident and healthy. But back to, like I said, square one with the phony, the phony baloney. I don't see no scars. That dog ain't working, bro. Come on, cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. You fronting, and it looks good. But my thing is, like I said, if you play the sport and you out in them fields and etc., and you actually are working dogs, you know what I'm talking about, and you know what I'm saying is the truth of the matter. You can't lie about that stuff, though. Like I said, if your dog is engaging in the box, that, oh, this dog is a grand champion, and I walk up on that dog and don't see no scars on the dog, yeah, right. Right, sure it is. Oh, it's a grand champion. Sure it is. Oh, this dog is actually working. He caught mad hogs. I got pictures. I got edited videos, and I see no scars on the dog. And then I see a dog, like I said, at the end of the day, that the majority of the time is hunting without a vest on. Bull crap. Like I said, I know when you taking it out of the what you call it, and how the dog is acting when you're walking up on hog. Like I said, I know. I know if your dog has it or if it don't have it. I don't know. And my thing is like, I'm not going to be playing with you with that. If I see a bunch of red flags, it's a no-go. The dog stays where it's at. And my thing is like, I don't hate on nobody, bro. But I try to keep people aware of the bull crap, though. And a lot of you are laying down bull crap. You actually are not doing the actual work. You're actually not doing properly on the aspect of dog breeding, etc. A lot of people are puppy millers, bro. You got show breeders that are puppy millers. You got the backyard dudes that are puppy millers. You have to beware, man. You have to beware. Like I said, with any of these dog breeds, you find a good dog where you find it at. And my thing is, a good dog will be able to replicate itself when you're doing breedings and stuff like that. He's bringing a lot of genetic good. He or she is bringing a lot of good genetics to the table, and that's worth for being bred. Factual. So, like I said, at the end of the day, with it, man, yo, be safe out here. Take care. And my thing is like, yo, just beware, man. Just beware. Everything that you see on the internet is not gold. My thing is like, yo, don't get fooled. Take your time in this situation, man. You find a good dog where you find it at, though. So you can find it sometimes in the show breeder's yard. Sometimes you'll find it in the backwoods or the backyard breeder's yard. Yo, you just got to know how to have an eye to spot a good dog. And if you did your homework, like I said, a lot of people can't fool you. Because when they can't fool you, that's when they stop. Well, they dislike you. Because now, you know, everybody, you know, not everybody, but some people have this ego situation with them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, he can expose me. So, you know, that's when all of the bull crap comes in the game and all that. Be patient with it. Work what you got. Test your animals properly. Breed best to the best. And you'll be successful in these situations, bro. You will be. My thing is like, yo, and start trying to con people, bro. But any dog breeder should be critical with his so-called line or dogs that he breeding. So if any breeder comes through and he's not telling you the flaws too of his animals, he or she is not telling you the flaws. Oh no, all my dogs did, and you know all that shit, and not telling you the flaws of it. Leave that breeder the fuck alone, bro. Straight like that, because any breeder's supposed to be telling you, yo, man, this is what I'm seeing a problem here, a problem here, and a problem here, and this is what I'm breeding to try to fix. And if a breeder not saying that, leave them breeders the fuck alone, bro. Breeders is like, yo, bro. And like I said, all puppies are cute until they fully grown. And you got to be careful with that because, yo, the puppy starts looking real nice when he's a puppy. But as he or she is growing up, dogs change. And you be surprised. I seen runt puppies end up being the biggest out of the whole entire litter. Big dogs, runts. And then also too, I seen the so-called chosen dog that a lot of people would choose, right? It'd be the first three out of the litter, end up being totally trash when they got to be fully grown. So, gotta be careful, man. So, with all that stuff being said, Saladin Salam, peace and prosperity. Hopefully, y'all having a lovely day. Hopefully, like I said, I inspire y'all to be great. Be great, bro. It starts with you and it ends with you, man. So, with that being said, take care. And yo, just beware, man. All right, later.